To the video. Today I am drawing and painting a map of Camp Jupiter. I went through a lot of the books, just so many pages and pages, and looking through all the descriptions and everything, and trying to work out where everything actually probably was in relation to each other and the distances and everything. Because I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but the normal maps are not to scale and they also change through each iteration. So I thought I'd just do a whole start to finish, map it out, work out where everything might be. Um, it's interesting, Camp Jupiter is like on a really high hill apparently. And key thing that I've changed is actually just where the lake is in relation to everything. The size of the lake changes in every map. I decided to make it rather big. Also, in the books, it talks about how New Rome looks like Old Rome. The thing about Old Rome is that it had a river going through it. And then several hills, and while the hills are there on the map, the river usually goes like in the wrong direction if it was supposed to sort of like look like Rome. So considering how good of engineers all of the Romans are supposed to be, I just imagine that they've diverted the river um, to make it like act like the Tiber. It just feels like something they would do. I sort of based a lot of the city sizes and stuff actually on Pompeii rather than Rome itself, just because Pompeii is probably more close to the size of the actual city. In fact, it's probably a bit big, but exactly what the population of New Rome actually is difficult to work out. There's a lot of competing words and like sizes and everything. There's never given an exact population. Of course, the population constantly suffers during the books and goes down, especially in Tyrant's Tomb. So there's that. And then, we're also got Temple Hill, which is a separate thing. I also, bit of creative license, decided on the road, which does exist between New Rome and Temple Hill, it is like a separate path. At least that's what it seems like in the books. I decided to put a series of sort of external buildings as well as little graves. So that's one of the things Romans used to do is like on the roads into their cities, they had these large grave monuments, normally for the richer folk, but whoever could pay for it could have a grave there on the road. Um, and I think this would be, the spot they would be. And because it's not on the main thoroughfare that most of the demigods are going on, because normally they're going from Camp Jupiter to New Rome, which is a different road, they wouldn't necessarily like make note of it existing. So that's why that's there. Of course, we've got the aqueduct, we've got the Colosseum, all of that good stuff there. So, of course, I'm going to note that the actual layout of Camp Jupiter itself, beyond its like approximate size and the fact that it has a few towers and stuff, is not the layout of the camp itself. I have got a little plan of something that I'm going to do with the camp. I might do a whole thing, but that's like a separate plan, and there was no way I was going to get the level of detail that Camp Jupiter actually requires on this map. So it's just several buildings. It doesn't match. There's no road between them, for example. I will note the direction that I put Camp Jupiter is different to the direction that most maps put it. And that's because when you read the books, that's the direction that it goes. The maps themselves seem to have gotten the Via Principalis and the Via Praetoria confused because the VI Pretoria has the most stuff on it canonically. It's got roads, it's got barracks, it's got basically everything, yet it's the tiniest road in most of the official maps. So that just felt wrong, basically. And also the Via Pretoria is supposed to connect the river gate, the back gate, to the front gate, the main gate. And the front gate leads basically directly to New Rome, and if you stand out the front gate, you can like basically just look at the city and see people in the city apparently. So yeah, that's why it's facing a different direction than it is on the other maps, the official maps. So if you've got a question about that, that's why. But yeah, I did attempt to sort of give the buildings reasonably, like a reasonable size in comparison to each other. They're probably not very well to scale. I did my best. Yeah. But we do know there's a bunch of forests as well. It was really interesting reading Camp Jupiter Classified. There is between Temple Hill and Camp Jupiter, on that road is supposed to be plenty of trees and also a latrine, little portable toilet. So that's a little fun fact for y'all. I didn't include it in this because it would be too small and also really random, just a random toilet. But it's, you know, it's fun. It's there. And I love it. So that is why there's a lot of trees in that section as well. And I decided to just fill up the rest of the map with trees because there's supposed to be trees around. Also, the Mars, Field of Mars, that's what it's called. Probably not that obvious, but it is that sort of section just a bit above Camp Jupiter and between it and New Rome. That's where it is. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye.